Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. It's going to be the round 21 preview, and it's exciting. It's the back end of the season, which is sad as well because we're approaching the end of another footy season. But it's also exciting because Origin is done. We don't have to worry about any major buys, any major outs, well, for the time being, and we can really focus on nailing that final few rounds. So I'm excited. Team list. I didn't do a team list video. There wasn't too much to talk about. Obviously, a couple of interesting ones. But let's just get into what we are going to be doing. So I think the obvious trade, like just the absolute slam dunk, you got to get in Angus Crichton. He obviously he sent a few people with a bit of a scare when he put on Twitter that he had an MRI after the last game. I'm still shocked that he played 80 minutes in that one after Origin, and also copping that the neck issue, the head knock, whatever. I mean, it was more of a neck problem where he got bent back a bit. But yeah, he's been named. Obviously, keep an eye on late mail just in case he gets ruled out. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong, but obviously just keep an eye out. But I think you've got to get him in. Like, I don't think, he's a guy you just can't anti-pod, in my opinion. The Roosters, okay, so who are we getting rid of in the back row? I still think it's just Cartwright. I think Cartwright has done me a great service. He's been fantastic. He has, of course, I guess with Geimer being out, Madison's gone into the starting lock spot. Well, again, I can't remember, is Dury on the bench? Jesus Christ. I am salty. Just the fact that in the bye, good old Trent Barrett decided to bench my boy Cartwright. I knew he was going to be back to starting. It does make it a little bit more tempting to hold, but I just think there's no reason to hold. And I know people might be like, just trade out Pierce Paul. I can't afford to go Pierce Paul to him. I think, I'd be able to afford it, but Cartwright's at 600k. It's a good value. I don't mind holding Pierce Paul. I also saw another good comment when I was talking about nuffing a front rower. Someone, I apologize, I forget the username, but they made a good point. I could nuff out Pierce Paul and swing either Curran or Fainu into the second row, and I like it. But I just feel like I think as long as Pierce Paul is starting, obviously they're on the bye this week, so it's a moot point. But as long as Pierce Paul is starting, I still prefer having Pierce Paul in the side over probably Henry and Fainu, honestly. I think he's got better upside. Fainu's scoring 40s. Pierce Paul is scoring 40s as well, but he has the upside. Fainu doesn't really. I guess in saying that, Pierce Paul hasn't really had much of an upside, but I think I'd still rather have Pierce Paul. Liam Henry, obviously he's back to the bench with a full start. Panthers all back on deck, so the only reason I would ever play Henry now going forward is if there's mass injuries or mass restings, and that's only really going to happen around 27. And the more I think about the Panthers, I know they've done it in the last couple of seasons. They've mass rested in round 27, but Cleary, for one, he's had an extended time off with this hamstring injury. He's been given quite a few extra weeks. All the Origin boys have been given rest after the Origin. Apart from Isaiah Yeo, he was on the bench, I think, a couple of the backups, but didn't play 80 minutes. So I don't know. I know it's worked really well for them. Part of me is like, are they going to rest? If they do, obviously Henry becomes a really solid player, but at the same time, I don't need to hold him just for round 27. It's not, that's not the smartest thing to do. He's at a really good price. I still like the idea of nothing him. He's 76 break even. He's going to lose cash. He'll go back to 40s, I would assume. And then, he might be a good play in round 27, but he might not as well. So it might just be I should have cashed him out when I could have. So I still think holding Pierce Paul is just more valuable than Henry or Fainu. And then Cartwright as well. Cartwright can still do good stuff by himself, but I mean, we saw what happened with Cardi and the Eels as a whole without Moses in the side the first time he got injured, and they were shocking. Cartwright got down to like 400k. He went off the boil. He wasn't getting involved. They just weren't giving him good ball like Moses does. So I don't love Cardi, and I'm just not going to be confident playing him. The Eels also have a really tough draw. They got Storm this game. They have some really tough games coming up. So this was the plan. It's annoying he's back to starting. If he was on the bench, it would have made it very, very easy. But I still think it's just the trade. I do. He's at 600k. A very, very nice price. Yeah, so Crichton, he's 756. He didn't lose much cash, so I could just afford Pierce Paul to him. But yeah, I mean, Crichton, he's got to come in. He's just going insane, dude. I mean, let's just have a look at these fucking scores, bro. Like, it was only early in the season where he obviously dipped with few minutes, and then 83, 79, 52, 119, 151, 99, 62, 82, 100, 49 against the Tigers. Bit of an anomaly, that one. I mean, that was the backup game after Origin. Again, I can't believe he played the full 80 against the Tigers. What he's doing. And then 95, 74. And I just feel like he's getting better and better. Like, I feel like after Origin, his confidence is at an all-time fucking high. So you've got to get him in. I think you just have to get him in. You could lose out on so many points if you don't, in my opinion. What is actually... go back. What was his... So he's at 23.8%. So he's not... I mean, I'm sure that's higher in like the top echelon of players, but it's not as high as I thought it might be. It'll definitely jump a lot this week, but... And the Roosters, I was going to... fucking go back. The other thing I was going to look at the Roosters was their draw. They do have one bye coming up, which is sort of good in a way, because it also means I don't think they're going to rest Crichton. Like, they play against Manly, Dolphins, really good matchups. Then they have a bye, which is honestly perfect, because Crichton, he's played so many minutes, so many Origin backups, like he needs a rest. So round 23 is like the perfect time. He gets to freshen up, and then 24 Parramatta, Gold Coast, Canberra, and then the grudge match against the Rabbitohs. I don't think they're going to rest players around 27, so it's just a no-brainer. The draw is just fucking insane coming up. And that one bye, like, I've got a few Roosters, but we've got the depth to cover it. It's fine. So, yeah, that's the number one trade. And yeah, this was the plan from a few weeks ago, like getting Cleary and Crichton. It was depending on, like, if I got them in the same week or not, but got him straight in without any like downgrades, no trouble at all. So it's worked out pretty well thus far. So we are now down to 7 trades, and honestly, this team, if I was stuck with this team for the rest of the season, honestly, it's pretty good. Like, the 5'8" spot could definitely improve. We could definitely get in another gun centre winger. The front row could get another gun, and then dummy half. I still don't know what the fuck. So in the team list, I was sort of hoping that Api Coruscant might move to 7 and Talon De Silva hold the starting 9 spot. And if that happened, I don't know if I would have, but I would have been very, very tempted to just not but downgrade Brayley to Talon De Silva and have like an okay player as well. Like, he looks like an absolute jet. So didn't work out that way. I mean, I will keep an eye just in case they do a late switch, but it's a little bit nerve-wracking. Because what is Talon? He's played a couple of games. He might not be bottom dollar. I actually don't remember what his price is. Because he's played a few games, I think. De Silva. I mean, Mamazoulis? No. He obviously played bigger minutes because Cook obviously went to the centres that game, but yeah, he can't do it. Can't do it. I mean, Simpkin's starting, but no. Okay, he's actually expensive. He's actually expensive. Where is he? I mean, you could even get like a fucking Wade Egan, like, as a second back. I just don't think it's worth it, though. Where the hell is he? Am I dumb? Oh, there he is. Okay, no, yeah, he's still Yeah, he hasn't increased in price. Yeah, he's got 103 points. God, if he was, I would just pull the trigger, honestly. Because I don't know, like it's like fucking, why would the Tigers not just, I mean, I know they've got Appy, so it's like, they're not going to drop Appy, but god damn, he's played 54 minutes, 46, 70 minutes, 103. Fuck me. He's going to, the worst thing about this is De Silva's going to get like pretty expensive because he's going to play probably off the bench, make a good bit of cash, and then not be like a bottom dollar for the next couple of years. So, bit of a pain, but I don't know. I'll keep an eye just in case there's a late switch and him start. But, and you know, maybe Appy does move to 7. I would love that, but not doing it now. The other interesting team list was Casey McLean getting the spot now with obviously, and I was trying to think like who else is out, but obviously Taylor May is gone. Alamotti is going to be obviously Taruva and To'o in the wings, and then Tungo, and it was going to be Alamotti fighting it out with potentially a couple other guys, maybe McLean. Alamotti now out for, I mean, he's out for the rest of the season, right, with that fractured arm. Dane Laurie is at fullback, but even if Edwards comes back in a couple of weeks, I don't think Dane Laurie would shift to the centres, so I think it's McLean's spot. Jacob Gagai is a perfect downgrade. Okay, I'm back. Of course, as soon as I start, mailman comes. Okay, what are we talking about? Yeah, Gagai to McLean. I love it. I mean, like I was saying, Dane Laurie, I feel like if Edwards comes back, I do think Laurie, he might go to the centres, but I just don't think he's a centre. And I think he's a perfect, like, 14th man for them, right? Coming off the bench as a utility. I think Laurie could work well as that. McLean looks the goods. I mean, he's just like a cheap Taylor May, right? Like, he's got great base. He's got some attacking upside in him. I love it. Laurie is also a very interesting pickup. I don't think I'm going to do it. He is a 5'8" available player, but I would have to get rid of Gray early, which I don't hate the idea of, but I mean, I don't hate the idea of getting, but you know what? I think Gagai to McLean is like a slam dunk as well. Yeah, because we have to get rid of Gagai. That it's as simple as that. Gagai has done me, again, like Cardi, he's been incredible. He's been a roller coaster, but he has delivered when I've mainly needed him to. He's let me down a couple of times, but when I've needed him a lot, he's fucking delivered a lot. He's gone up to 560k now. He now has a break even of 45. The draw still isn't bad. He could ton up again this week, right? Against the Raiders, Sharks, Melbourne, 3 toughish games. And then it's a tough run. I definitely wouldn't want to hold him. And he could be an 80 nightmare, right? Like, it's sort of him and Johnson are flip-flopping between who scores tries. And the biggest thing here is that with a full team, I'm not going to play Gagai. Even in a good matchup, I'm not going to play him because if he doesn't score a try, he gets 20 to 30 points. So even if he goes a ton, I won't get the ton because I'm not playing him. I'm not going to risk playing him over like a fucking Fermor or even an Eero who are going to get like 60 plus. So I think Gagai, obviously, you know, there's gun options as well. Like if we look, I mean, okay, I mean, To'o too expensive. Way too expensive. Lomax also too expensive, but Lomax, I think I looked at this before. Lomax has a fucking dreadful couple of weeks, but then it is insane. So, Panthers, Melbourne, Dogs, but then Titans, Sharks, Para, Canberra. In round 24, a Lomax trade-in could be a very, very, very good move. But again, depending on trades, depending on availability. Going down, fucking see dude, the centre wingers have been a bit underperforming, haven't they? If you fucking look at it, like, I mean, Brimson number 5. I mean, I guess he just hasn't played enough games to lose cash. I guess that's the thing, right? If you looked at points, it's more so. But yeah, I mean, Sivo's still there, 650k. I mean, he's averaging 64, I guess. Is there anyone else that stands out? I mean, Ramian's been pretty good the last few weeks, but I got too many Sharkies. Like, I'm not going to get Iro and Ramian. Nick Meaney's got the goal kicking back, but he just hasn't done it this year. Just hasn't been in the best form. Val Holmes, do I get Val Holmes back? I mean, he's on the wing. He's at 620k. He's got 100 break even against the Sharkies. I don't love doing it this week. And they go, it's not a bad little run. They do have a buy in round 25. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind the idea of bringing Holmes back, but I think, again, just going down to Mclean's the way to go. You got a Zarko, who's been solid. Yeah, no one else really. I mean, Dean Mariner, he's got the big ones, but he's got the little ones as well. Tommy Talau back on the wing. If Manly didn't have such a tough few weeks, I'd be half tempted. And even Taruva. Taruva is also very tempting because I think he's back on the right wing, is he not? I think he's back on the right wing, obviously with Cleary back in the side. But I think if you're just going to go like Taruva, you just go Mclean for like 300k less, right? He might not quite have the upside, but still a very, very solid playable option. So, yeah. But I don't mind a Taruva. I don't mind a Taruva at all. What was I was gonna say? Oh yeah. Jason. So Saab's a little bit expensive. I wouldn't go Saab. If I was gonna go a fly, maybe a Talau. But yeah, again, they've got a pretty tough couple of weeks. So I wouldn't do it now for Jason Saab or Talau. Going down. I mean, Selwyn Cobbo on the wing. Interesting little pod as well. Interesting little pod. Obviously on the wing outside of Walsh, throwing those cutout balls. He's been pretty solid. He just hasn't had any like standout games really. Like no tons, but it's a pretty good draw to finish. The Broncos need to win games. Again, I don't hate like a Cobbo. I just can't pass up. Roger as well playing fullback. I just don't think it's gonna last again. Like Chance will be back. Picky when he's back from the head knock. I don't know. If he keeps the fullback spot, I mean, yeah, it's a great pickup, but I don't know. I just can't go past fucking Mclean. I just think it's too good to pass up. A bottom dollar cheapie that is honestly very, very playable. Like I'm happy to play Mclean. He scored. What's he done? Like 50 and 50 both games in like base. Yeah, 41 points, then 52 points in base. Hasn't really got any attack. Like I said, the Panthers have a pretty good run. Yeah, I think Mclean is the way to go, and we're probably not gonna play him this week. I mean, it's against the Dragons. You could, but I think it's too good to pass up. I think it is too good to pass up, dude. Okay, so 2 trades done. I wasn't really expecting to... Well, no, I was expecting to trade Gagai. Like, he was a guy I was going to have to get rid of probably this week or next week, depending. So, moving forward, we got 6 trades left. Again, I want to save 3 trades and a boost. We could use a boost this week, and there's some... I think dummy half, I'm just going to run with Robson. It is what it is. If De Silva gets a late call up to start, maybe I do Brayley to De Silva, but even then, I don't know. I'm torn. Brayley's going to stuff me. But yeah, there's not much I can do. I mean, I could upgrade him to someone good, but I just don't want to have 2 expensive dummy halves. It's a wasted position, in my opinion, because I don't want to play 2 dummy halves week on week. The front row. Now, I've talked about the front row quite extensively, that Fanor Blake, I think, is the guy to get at his price. The more I've been thinking about it, Terrell May. Oh, dude, Terrell May. What do you do? What do you do with Terrell May? What do you do with Terrell May? He's such an anomaly. Like, the minutes are all over the shop. The points, he's obviously back to the bench. Spencer Leniu starting with Collins. I don't mind getting rid of him. And, like, obviously I could go to anybody. Because here's the thing, like, I know I could go Henry to anybody as well and hold Terrell May. But is it worth doing that? Is it worth holding Terrell May over Henry? Or over Fainu, for that matter? I don't know. Like, if he's going to... I mean, he still scored 54 points. It's not bad. It's pretty solid. But he's almost 700k. The back row is locked and loaded. I think this is the back row I'm going to run with for the rest of the season. I'm very happy to hold Ola Kawatu till he comes back. Pierce Paul... in the last couple of weeks, if he does get on the bench or whatever, he's not playing, he's not starting, he could be definitely a candidate to trade to a pod for sure. But I'm happy with it for now. I don't need to play him. Cleary, Brown, for now, that's fine as their halfbacks. Galvin, I think Galvin, I'm just going to hold him. The other guy, so Dane Laurie, I went off track. I forgot about Laurie. We'll talk about him in a second. The fullbacks are fine. Don't get me wrong. When Ponga's draw opens up in a couple of weeks, I am going to be half tempted to trade one of these guys to Ponga for the run home as a pod play, but I don't think it's going to be worth it, but I'll be tempted. And then the centre wing. Honestly, the centre wing is pretty stacked. We could probably do with, like, we go like a Holmes, we go someone else. I don't know. We could look for a pod, but it's pretty stacked. Like, we got very, very playable options all across the park now. So yeah, Laurie and a front rower. And even now, like, I don't even need, like, because I didn't nuff out, but I sort of essentially did. I nuffed out like a 600k guy. I don't actually need to nuff out a front rower now. It's not that pressing to get more cash. I don't necessarily need more money now. You know what? I probably will use a boost. Like, do I just go Gray? So the two guys I'm most keen. So let's have a look at front rowers first. So Nrl Blake versus Payne Haas. Originally, I was like 100% just go for Nrl Blake over Payne Haas, right? He's like 100k cheaper. He's a try scorer. He's back in the try scoring front. His points have been going up the last couple of weeks, but he is 41% owned. Payne Haas is 17% owned. He's averaging... It's just hard. I don't know. Like, it is a pod play compared to Nrl Blake, but at the same time, to go against the crowd, especially for the money cost, is he really going to score that many more points than Nrl Blake? If Nrl Blake keeps scoring fucking tries, then he definitely won't. But I can just see Payne Haas going on an absolute tear to end the season because they need him to. Like, yeah, he played... The scoring it's been good, like 71, 63, 76, 52, 74, a ton there, 99, 69, 57, he only played 60 minutes. I mean, 60 minutes is still very good. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, fuck, I don't know. Then you look at Nrl Blake. I mean, Nrl Blake is dependent on tries. If he scores a try, he's going 80 plus. I mean, look, 100... 50, 77, 43, 68, 76, 73, 117. Went on a big tear here. But then 37, only played 49 minutes. 103, 53, 34, 45. Had a bit of a rough one. This was around the time there was a lot of talk going on. Then he's bounced back. He's played bigger minutes, 66 and 68 minutes. trying to think, was it... I mean, I guess Tohu Harris is out for the season, so they are relying on Final Blake more through the middle. 6,903. Fuck, it's so hard to pass up him for 600,000. Like, yeah, I don't think it's worth taking, like... You need Payne Haas to go, like, 10 points on average better than Final Blake to make the anti-pod/pod play work of going 100k more for Haas. And is he going to? He might, but I don't... The only... You know what? The other thing about Final Blake, I just remembered, they do have a bye in round 27, which is a little bit... I mean, it's not the worst thing. Well, it is. Actually, yeah. Round 27 is obviously a terrible bye. I was just thinking, like, I mean, every team has a bye. Well, not every team, but a lot of teams have a bye coming up in the last few weeks. But round 27, it's worse because, yeah, you miss out on him, the bye, but then all the other restings that happen, it compounds. So that extra game is very important for Payne Haas. I don't think... When do they have a bye? The Bronx... Round 24. So again, like they both have a bye, but round 24 it's going to be a lot easier to cover Payne Haas than round 27 for Final Blake, is my point. So I'm torn on that, but then the 5'8", because obviously we'd pick up Laurie at 5'8". I mean, he went big, 111 points. He's 500k. It's not even like that big a jump from Jai Gray up to Dane Laurie. Oh. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. I mean, look at the 80-minute games. 49 in 80 minutes against the Dragons. But, I mean, that was round 13 when they were missing all their players. Still scored 50. 128 in 80 minutes, then 111 in 80 minutes, 82, and even 64 in 80. I mean, the 80-minute games, he's been fucking insane. Like, I feel like he's Jaden Campbell, but in a better side to an extent. I mean, Campbell, yes, he's got like 170, but similar type play. Is very attacking. Both like poddish in the fullback 5'8" spot, but Campbell's obviously a lot more expensive now. Laurie's obviously a bigger pod, and he's in a far better side. Dragons, Newcastle, Para, Melbourne. The thing with Laurie, and this is the tricky part, if I bring Laurie in, he's average, like Edwards, I would not be, it's just like, I wouldn't be shocked if Cleary just gives Edwards a couple of weeks extra like Cleary. Like if Panthers are still winning, which I don't doubt they will, and Laurie's going well, why would they rush Edwards back and sort of not drop Laurie, but just, replace him? Like, surely if he's good to go after 3 weeks, Edwards, surely they just give him a couple extra weeks. Like, they probably want him to have a couple of games before the finals, but like, yeah. So let's trades left. If we do that trade, we'll have 5 trades left. 5 trades left. Now, because I got rid of Gagai from Mclean, I don't actually need to, like I just said, I don't need to nuff out one of the front rowers to make cash. We'll be down to like 400k, plenty of money. We can still upgrade Terrell May to Payne Haas or Final Blake if we want to. We probably wouldn't go to Final Blake if we're not going this week. That's the only thing. It's like, if we don't get on Final Blake this week, we're not going to get him in, I don't think. But the team is like sorted then. It's just a matter of... And then, yeah, we'll have 5 trades left. If Laurie does go out of the team in like 2 or 3 weeks, he will have made a stack of cash and we could trade him off to anybody. Right, that'll be 4 trades left. 4 trades left. Who else do we want to trade? Like, again, I was talking about a luxury trade of maybe going one of these guys to Ponga, getting another gun center winger for sure, but we probably wait for like the last couple of rounds for a pod. Or like Lomax. Okay, so let's say Lomax in, right? Lomax in like round 24. So now we're down to 3 trades. And then those 3 trades we'll use for the final round. Yes. Fuck, I don't know. Is Laurie the go? I'm very tempted. Who are people going? People are trading in Hemiso? Really? I don't like that. Final Blake, understandable. Reece Walsh. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I do like Reece Walsh for sure. Payne Haas, I love. Harry Grant, is people really going Grant? I mean, who are they trading for Grant? Like, he looked really good last week. He still only scored 74. Like... And he's got a 78 break even. Like, Grant probably still is going to be the best for the run home, but I don't know, is it worth going like a Robson or a Coruscant? Or who else are people trading for Grant? I don't know. Trading out. Olakau'atu. Why are people trading Olakau'atu this week? That's a little strange. Iro, I also don't really understand. I mean, I guess going to Mclean. Terrell May, yeah, I'm tempted. Pierce Paul, yes. Dylan Brown... Yeah, I don't know. Without Moses, yeah, I guess I don't love Dylan Brown, but I'm happy just to hold him, get his 50 to 60 every week. You don't have to play him if you don't want to. But that'll probably wrap up the preview. I'll definitely be back. I'll answer questions in the comments section, doing a pre-lockout video for tomorrow before the Thursday night game. And yeah, we'll go through in that video. We'll go through captain, vice captains, and sit starts. I didn't really talk about that, but yeah, I think the Mclean and the Crichton trades are locked in. It's just a matter of, do I take the punt on going Gray to Laurie? It could be a big play, or do we just trade like a Terrell May, or even just trade fucking Liam Henry to Payne Haas or Finil Blake? I don't know. Who are the Bunnies playing? Canberra? Yeah. I'm not that confident of Gray. The Tigers are playing the Warriors, so I'll probably play Galvin in that one, honestly. Like, he's been really solid. But yeah, we'll be back. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Like I said, I'll answer questions and yeah, talk more about what I'm doing in the pre-lockout discussion. So hopefully guys like and comment. Make sure to leave your questions if you got any, and I'll see you guys in the next one.